Hi everybody, today we're going to be doing a restorative variation of Setu bandha sarvangasana, or the yoga bridge pose, using props, support, and time in the shape. I'll offer 3 variations so that you can take what works best for your body. This pose is particularly helpful to activate the barrow reflex, which suppresses the flight or fight response and favors the restoring and rejuvenating aspects of the parasympathetic nervous system. I personally use this as a full practice, at least 15 minutes, 1 to 2 times a week. So today we're going to need, for the first variation, 2 bolsters, a 6 or 8 foot strap, and a couple of blankets. If you have an eye pillow or something heavy to put over your eyes, you can as well. Take one of the blankets, fold it in its regular rectangle, and then start to roll it into either a medium roll or, as I'll show here, a full roll. Nice and tight so it doesn't slip out. And then placing your strap over the lower bolster or the upper bolster if you tend to be a little shorter in height. And then the other blanket about shoulders blades distance away from the back edge of the first bolster. Make sure that your eye bag, if you have one, is smooth and placed in comfortable distance from that top blanket. And then sit on the back edge of the first bolster. Place your shins or your legs underneath the strap. And then you're going to either stay here for another variation, or if you tend to have any discomfort in your low back, in back bends, take that blanket roll and you can adjust its height underneath your thighs. So the mid-thigh is good, or the knees, and then strap your shins in. If you prefer, you can strap your thighs. You'll just need to replace the strap around the upper bolster. Lie back, lengthening your tailbone towards your heels, and then your shoulder blades will rest on the space between the top edge of the first bolster and that top blanket. I like to roll the blanket behind my neck to support the arch of my cervical curve, but you don't have to. You can just keep the blanket under your head. A little palming over the eyes to relax the eyes and the forehead, and then place your sandbag or your eye bag over the top of your eyes, relaxing your eyelids down. Press your elbow points into the floor beside you, and then let your arms fall out to the side so that both arms rest on the same knuckle. Both hands rest on the same knuckle. Stay here, getting as comfortable as you need to, for anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. You're not trying to do anything in particular other than just to watch or witness your breathing, your body as it releases down into the support of the props, and any shifts around sensation, any shifts around your breath pattern that occur with time. If this is comfortable for you, just pause the video and stay here as long as you like, releasing the back body down. If you're moving on, trying the other options, take your sandbag or your eye bag off your eyes. Slide your legs out from under the strap. Place your feet onto either side of the bolster on the floor. And then you're eventually going to roll to one side, remembering that you are elevated onto something higher. So take your time and move slowly. As you rise up, let the head come last. Second variation is basically the same thing we just did, except without the support of the blanket. Without that blanket, I like to bring the strap up more to the thighs. I find that it's more secure and I can tighten it a little bit more. The role of that strap is just to keep the legs from falling off the sides of the bolsters as your body slowly releases into the support of the shape. Good. Make sure the buckle isn't on your skin but between your legs, and then lie back, positioning the blanket behind your head, maybe rolling it under your neck. Shoulder blades should be comfortable on the mat between the blanket and the bolsters. Tailbone is long towards the heels. You can bring that eye bag onto your eyes, sliding it down your forehead so that your eyes are closed completely. And then again, Placing the arms out to the sides, resting the backs of the hands on the same knuckle for balance. Let the fingers be relaxed. That might mean they curl up a little bit. And you're simply just allowing your body to be held. Held by the props, held by the natural flow of your breathing. Experiencing that gentle opening in the top lobe of the chest and lungs. Notice the shape of your tongue. Let it relax into the bottom and the sides of your mouth. Try to widen the soft palate of your mouth. Relax the eyes down into their sockets. This variation is what I would recommend if you have been practicing for some time and you have mobility in your spine. There's no injury in your low back that resting in this pose over time would make feel worse. And then when you're ready, you're going to loosen that strap up. It seems that I may have made the strap a little too tight, which means I'm going to have to rise up to loosen it. Ideally, you should be able to do this lying all the way back. Then slide your legs out, feet to the floor. And one way to exit is to roll to your side. Let your top hip trail, your head trail, and then your head be the last thing to rise up. But so the third option, instead of using the bolsters, which can be quite high, we'll use blankets. So grab 2 blankets, and then make sure that they are in that yoga rectangle that you often find them coming off of the stack in a yoga studio. If you'd like a video on that, I'll record one later. But essentially, just 2 rectangles, and then you're going to fold the folded edge towards the fringe one more time to create a really long, thin rectangle. Make sure that it's flat, and then do the same thing with a second blanket. Place them back to back like you did with the bolsters. So essentially what we're doing is we're just creating the same shape with less height. This will give you that mild inversion benefit, that mild back bend benefit, except now there's not so much of a back bend. Now instead of using the strap here, I like to use a third blanket. I unfold it one time from the regular rectangle shape and then roll it into a long, skinny, snake-like shape. What I'll do is I'll use this over the top of my legs, tucking it under my knees, which I'll show you. So to keep my legs together, I find that the strap around the blankets makes the blankets a little uneven. So stretching my legs out, wrap the blanket over my knees, and then tuck it under each knee respectively. Try not to stack the sides of the blanket because that will make your knees uneven. But one side under each respective knee, and then lie back. Position the blanket under your head if you'd like. You can always just not use the blanket under your head, but it's nice to create a cushion. And then the first option, once you have established comfort in the shape, once the sandbag or the eye bag is over your eyes, you can also just use a towel if you don't have an eye bag or an ace bandage loosely wrapped around your eyes. Bring the elbows down, shoulder blades wrap under the back, and then the back of the knuckles rest to the floor, about a 45-degree angle of the arms away from the sides of the body. There are many different arm variations. I'll show you a couple of my favorites. This is the one that I use most often. Just take a few moments to rest. If there's anything that you need to adjust so that you are completely supported, there's nothing that feels off kilter, off balance, then please adjust that now. And come into that witnessing state of your breath and your body. Letting your thoughts just move on by. Effectively not seeking to do anything other than rest. And there's a lot to be gained by just observing. That's really what most of these techniques of yoga are pointing us towards, getting away from the distraction so that we can observe. If you'd like to take a second variation of the arms, I'll show you that shortly. But essentially it's taking goalpost arms out to the side. So the arms will rise up a little bit, create 90-degree angles through the elbows, and then just let the upper arms drop out to the sides. The backs of the hands will rest onto the floor. And make sure this doesn't make your low back too tight, or your ribs, the bottom ribs, rise up too high. The effect here should simply be to create a little bit more opening, deeper opening in the collarbone area. Another really lovely variation is to simply place your hands onto your belly, feeling the rise and fall of your breath. One hand onto either side of the navel. Again, not trying to do anything other than watch your belly rise and fall naturally with your natural breath. And when you're ready, bend the elbows to support. I'll show you a different way of exiting. Instead of rolling to the side, if this is better for you, if it feels more comfortable for you, you can lift your pelvis up like regular bridge pose, slide the blanket out from underneath the body or the bolster. You can place that prop on top of your abdomen. It grounds your energy. It feels really settling. A few breaths here. If you'd like, you can extend your legs or keep the knees bent. Just noticing the texture of the mat under your feet and spine. And then when you are ready, a little offering of gratitude for your practice, for the health of your body, this ability to heal and restore. And then just roll to the sides. Take a pause here, as long as you need, and then let the head trail as you rise up. Namaste. Thank you for watching.